This is The Litter Box, a Detroit Lions podcast with your hosts, Chet West and Bill Patterson.
Litter Box Lions fans, thanks for joining us once again. We have cleared baseball season. We are in the throes of football season. And we just watched a wonderful 24-9 win by your Detroit Lions at home on Monday Night Football over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who up until this game were being bandied about as a possible number one in the power rankings, a Super Bowl contender, and a quarterback who was to be MVP. Our Lions looked great and did it against a good squad. We had some incredible play by what is basically a second-string defensive backfield, and we had some, at times, what looked like incredible play from an offense, and then at times looked extremely frustrating. We're going to talk about the bye week after we get through all that and what the Lions need to do to get healthy in the coming 10 days or so, and we'll touch a little on the NFC North after that. Bill, I want to start with you, and I want to start with a question today. Who on the defense gets your game ball?
First and foremost, it's got to be Kelvin, Shepard, for organizing a D that was man-heavy, taking advantage of the Buccaneers' lack of regular starters at skill positions. So he gets my first game ball. My second game ball has to go to Meek Robertson, who was everywhere. He played all 69 snaps on D and was everywhere on the field. And the game balls, I know Jameer Gibbs had an amazing day, Chet.
He did.
All game balls need to go to the D on this one because the Buccaneers have given
they did their job.
They've given the Lions fits the last few times they've played. And I have to give a shout out to Todd Bowles, their head coach, who is a defensive coordinator by trade. Man, if Tampa Bay ever gets crazy and decides to let him go, I hope Dan Campbell's the first one on the phone because he gives our offense fits. But let's get back to the
We may not need him, though, when we have Shepard, Kelvin Shepard. I mean, you want to cast Kelvin off already? Although he's probably just going to get hired away like Aaron Glenn. So we may not have him that long.
Chet, what I'm suggesting is that your next Miami Dolphins coach might be one Kelvin Shepard.
Gotcha. I see where you're going.
All right, so that's my game ball, but you could go around the D. Welcome back, Aleem McNeil. He was nothing short of fantastic.
He was beastly in the middle.
And Chet, he didn't.
You see the difference?
He didn't show up in the stat sheet. Yeah. It was like one tackle, one, I think, pass kind of deflected. Chet, he was on the field for 44 plays, and he disrupted from play one until he was off the field. Go ahead.
He demands two offensive linemen. Did you notice how often he's getting doubled? That leaves some space for somebody. Would be a great time for Tyleik Williams maybe to step his game up if he's not being replaced by Aleem McNeil in the line. All right, so defense. You're giving game balls to Shepard. I agree with that. I give it to the whole the whole second string defensive backfield as they well above.
Whom?
The Legion of Whom is what we're calling these guys. I like that. That's good. That's very good.
Can I give another game ball?
Poetry, if you will. Yeah, go ahead. Who else would you give that game ball to, Bill? Who's the next game ball winner?
Jack Campbell. He was all over the field, Chet. I mean, he might have single-handedly ruined Tampa Bay's offensive game plan for the fact that whenever Baker tried to move up, Baker Mayfield, that is, in the pocket, he was there to meet him or he was there to play spy. And I'm not a big fan of spy. Usually doesn't work. And Shepard, Kelvin that is, said that he's not a big fan of spy, but it worked. That's all I can say.
I'm a little curious about the Buccaneers' strategy for this one. They didn't have a lot of short throws over the middle to wide receivers. Cade Otton got his share. But I'm shocked that they were not going for the shorter throws over the middle to get wide receivers getting covered, or at least getting their wide receivers covered by our linebackers. The Chiefs excelled and succeeded at that all game long. It seemed like between Jack Campbell and Anzalone and Derek Barnes, somebody had to cover a wideout on almost every play on a little short intermediate throw, and they got beat every time in pass coverage. Cade Otton had a little bit of a game on us, but they didn't go to him that much. They went to him about maybe a half dozen times, maybe. But I feel like if you're going to beat the Lions, it's a short intermediate throw over the middle, getting a linebacker in coverage, because our guys can't pass cover. But they didn't do that. They kept trying to go down the line. I think they thought we got these weak second string D-backs in there. We're going to try and attack those guys, and it didn't work. Hence who our game balls go to. Thoughts?
A couple. So let's talk about who the best receivers are. I mean, you've got Mike Evans, who I think, and I said in our preview, is going to be a future, or he should be a Hall of Famer. Really sad to see him go out with a broken clavicle. That was not the way we wanted to see this game go.
When we let go of that ball, you knew something was wrong. I was like, he got hurt somewhere badly there.
He knew he was hurt badly.
The ball on the ground.
And I hope it's not like career ending, but I'm seeing things on social media that say that he might be done.
Yeah.
And I hope that's not the case, because he has been nothing short of a warrior for I don't even know what we call them, the tan and or the sunset tan and white, the Buccaneers, the pewter and
pewter. I believe they're pewter and red or pewter and...
I know, but which one do we go with?
I don't even know.
I love their old school unis.
I'm not 100%. Yeah.
Right. So let's talk about the rest of this, though.
Yeah.
Chris Goodwin Jr.'s out.
Yeah. Chris Godwin's out. So he's not.
The rookie, Ikbukwa, is not a hundo.
No.
He's dealing with a hamstring.
You can kind of tell. Yep.
Bucky Irving's out, who the difference between him and White is the fact that White might be great between the tackles, off guard, running the ball. He is not the threat.
They are not the
ball.
1-2 punch that Sonic and Knuckles are, that's for sure. And if Montgomery had to carry the whole load, he would have done a heck of a lot better than White did yesterday in that role. So,
and then to finalize your question, the exclamation point, Luke Haggard, their starting right guard, was out, and he is a difference maker. So I'm not excusing...
Everybody has injuries. Everybody's got injuries.
Here's the other thing. The Buccaneers got to 5-1 through a little bit of smoke and magic and comebacks and all that. And the Lions, I know it was 14-0 at one point, and then it was 14-9 at one point going into the half. Chet, did the game ever feel tight to you?
No. And I don't know if you've been watching the show Chad Powers recently, but there's an assistant coach on the team who happens to be head coach's daughter, and she makes a comment. He says, "We're only down by 10. You want to do something crazy?" And she goes, when being down by 10 feels like 3 or 7, and being down by 10 feels like 30. Like there's a difference. I always felt like we were up by a lot more than just 10 when we were up. So I was very, I kind of had that mindset. I was like, this isn't just 10 points or 5 points or 9, whatever. We were at, it felt like a lot more than that, because it seemed like the Bucs just had such a hill to climb. But don't get me wrong, at any moment I was like, this thing can blow apart and they can figure out what to do to our defense and bust us. But they never did. Should we touch on the offense a little bit?
Yeah, let's move to the other side of the ball.
I don't feel like we should totally ignore the offense. We did have a monumental rushing performance. What do you know about Mr. Gibbs' rushing performance that puts him up on, like, everything I've seen today is, you had Billy Sims, then you had Barry Sanders, and now you've got Jameer Gibbs on the Mount Rushmore of Lions running backs. What are your thoughts?
Love Gibbs, and he has entered the Mount Rushmore, which is only 3 statues as far as I'm concerned for Lions running backs. It would be Barry Sanders in whatever position he wants to be in, Billy Sims number 2, and Jameer Gibbs third. With that,
218 all-purpose yards. That's crazy.
Game ball and offense has to go to Mr. Gibbs. He was outstanding. I'm going to answer the question that a lot of our listeners want to know. No, I don't think there's a running back controversy. No, I don't think there is a reduced role outside of what you're already seeing for one. Knuckles, David Montgomery. Here's the thing. When the weather gets nasty, and the Lions do play 3 of their last 4 on the road, one's in a dome. Actually, 2 are in a dome, I guess. So it's only really the at Chicago game. Still, they're going to need
Monty's going to have his moments.
And so rest of the offensive line, I thought did well. My favorite play of the game happened to be, and I'm laughing to myself. I'm really sorry. Sonic takes it and goes, and
78 yards or whatever it was.
Sewell decides to just go, and yet doesn't really block anybody, but he's just hauling his rear down, and he tries to block guys.
78 yards, that was.
So anyway.
He hit the hole at like 50 miles an hour. They timed it at one point in the backstretch of that run. He was doing 23 miles an hour. I can't ride a bike 23 miles an hour. I have no clue how he gets going 23. That's fast. That's the fastest. What was the fastest touchdown in the NFL in 3 years?
Yeah.
Crazy.
The rest of the offense, St. Brown does what St. Brown does. Jared Goff was good when he had time. Todd Bowles is really, really good at disrupting Jared Goff, and he didn't do it as much today. Hey, Chet, what month is it?
I don't know. October? Is that where we are now?
Brocktober.
So interestingly enough, you touched on Bowles disrupting Goff. They mentioned this on the broadcast last night. These guys have faced some serious pass rushes this season. Like they don't have any games off really, other than maybe like the Vikings don't have the elite pass rush you get Montez Sweat with the Bears. You're getting Trey Hendrickson with Cincinnati.
We haven't played the Vikings.
We haven't played them yet. I'm just saying you'll get them off. You'll get that game off maybe when we play them. But think about the rest of the teams we're playing. Everybody has elite pass rushes. We haven't played a team without, look at the Browns, elite pass rush. Like Goff has been under pressure with what I would call a slightly diminished offensive line all season so far.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how many good pass rushes we've played in the first 6 to 7 weeks of the season. That's nuts to me.
So this team at 5-2 after what they've faced, regardless of Joe Burrow not being there, regardless of the fact that I guess the Ravens aren't what we thought the Ravens were going to be.
Sure. Yeah.
None of that matters because when we played the Ravens, they
were supposed to be.
They had Lamar Jackson. Yeah. That was Monday night at their place. And so here's my, I guess, final offensive thought after Brocktober, which you moved quickly past.
I only wanted to give it some credit. That was all. That's good job with it. Brocktober.
He had 3 catches.
He did have 3 catches.
Career night for him.
It doesn't make me happy, though, because I think Laporta's the better tight end, and I'd like to see him more involved. And he's on my fantasy team.
Everybody knows that, Chet. That's Captain Obvious.
Brock is just stealing catches from my fantasy tight end right now.
Oh, got
That's
it.
all there is to it.
Self-serving.
Yes.
All right.
Exactly.
Last plug I was going to give is if Vita Vea wasn't on Tampa Bay's defense, which we said in the preview, I think the Lions could have scored 70. I mean, it's possible. So disruptive.
He's like a Liam McNeil times 2. He's crazy.
Yeah, and he's only 30.
Yeah.
He's what I'm trying to say is he's someone that if the Bucs ever went through a rebuild, which most NFL teams do, he would be someone, if the timing and position and money all worked out, gosh, I would welcome him with open arms.
Sure. You picked him up a lot in the pregame that we did, and I agree with you. He's a beast out there. You nailed that. He was tough, and he was disruptive, and he might be why we only put up 24 points in hindsight.
And outside of Gibbs' big run, he averaged less than 4 yards a carry, and so did Demon.
Well, it's running up the middle. We didn't do a ton of running up the middle last night. We hit the one big home run, and that was it.
Because you can't run on that monster of a man, and that's it. All right. You wanted to move to...
Let's move to the bye week. Let's talk about the bye week a little bit. Let's cover, what's the bye week do for this team right now? We want to get healthy. That's obvious. Is there last year coming out of the bye week, I believe we had lost coming out of the bye week. We'd lost a little steam or something, if I remember correctly. Thoughts on the bye week? Bill, coming out of the bye week, what do you want to see?
For our defensive backfield, Chet, I think if we can get Terrion Arnold back, obviously Brian Branch will be eligible post-suspension. Don't know about Kirby Joseph, hoping he'll be back. And then there's other individuals that I'd like you to comment on that we would like back as well. One being DJ Reed, who I think still has a little bit of time. But I think health, Chet, at this point is the biggest thing that will allow this Lions team to continue on its trajectory that is
we don't want to
positive.
gamble. We don't want to gamble with the second string D-backs. You can only roll the dice at the roulette table or at the craps table so many times, or spin the wheel at the roulette table so many times. It looks like we'd get Arnold and Avonte Maddox back after the bye, possibly. But DJ Reed has one extra week after the bye that he has to sit out due to the fact that he's on the IR. So he has to have 4 weeks out. So we will see him week 9 would be the earliest. Or excuse me, week 10 would be the earliest. Is that correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. So we get some of our defensive backs back after the bye week, but not all. And I think as many as we can get back is good. And if some of these guys can keep playing and filling in, giving the other guys a breath and not get burned on a play, then hey, more power to the backups that did so well last night. What else for the bye week?
Well, the other, I think, thing we're not talking about is what's going to happen with Taylor Decker's shoulder.
Well, I don't want to talk about it because it scares me.
Okay.
And it's frightening. And I want to believe that Taylor will get these 10 days off. I bet they're going to give him this whole week. He's not going to do a thing. And then the following week, he's not going to do much until probably the day or two before week 9 game. I'm guessing he's going to get a ton of time. And he needs all the time he can get. He had moments last night where he looked like they were beating around the edge a little. Might have been that bad shoulder. It's just, who knows? I just don't, I don't need to see more Dan Skipper at left tackle, and I don't need to see Manu at left tackle. I like to see Taylor Decker there. So I hope I don't know, can he sit in a cryo chamber and get healthy faster? I have no idea what to do for that. But It is age catching up a little bit.
Age is definitely catching up, and you're being pretty harsh on our guy.
I know.
And you're being harsh on his backups. I was going to look at this glass half full.
Okay.
And say that it gives time for Manu to take first team reps and go up against basic.
It's a good point. It's valid. This is a good time for development.
He's going to go up against Touch, and he's going to go up against Barnes, and they're going to blitz the heck out of him in practice to get him ready. And at this point, they should have enough tape on the Brian Flores defense. I know it's super confusing. He blitzes from everywhere. He's a master at his trade. With that, the Lions have to practice that for the fact that I think we are seeing a player in his twilight. And
we need some sort of a plan there.
It's much appreciated, everything he's given. He's been a Honolulu Blue and Silver Warrior. It is the time that the Lions, and thank goodness Brad Holmes is already on this, start thinking of the replacement plan for one Taylor Decker, because I don't know that this is a surgery type of fix. Again, I know nothing.
And he's getting on. I mean, you saw what happened. We just lost Frank Ragnow out of thin air, basically, due to injuries just piling up and him just not wanting to go again.
Yeah.
Can't blame him. Decker's only going to get to that point at some point, too. I mean, it's what happens. It becomes a quality of life issue. So we want to get healthy over the bye week. That's number one.
I've got one more for you.
What's that?
I would like to see one Isaac Coleslaw get more involved in this offense. Yeah. One play I want to comment on that kind of drove me nuts, but I was so excited for it, was that 4th and 3 in the red zone, and Goff overthrew Coleslaw, who happened to be manhandled. It drove me nuts only for the fact that Laporta was a yard in front of his guy and would have gotten beyond the sticks, fresh set of downs. With that, I like to see that our guy, Tesla. Coleslaw is getting more involved in the offense, and I think that will only happen more so upcoming. I'd also like to see if I can add a third, or is it your turn? Would you like to go?
No. Go right ahead. Go on.
So
I've got all mine out. I just want everybody to get healthy.
The Lions are, I have one last thing that needs to be cleaned up. And this is actually should probably be my number one, Chet, but it's not, because I feel like the law of averages will amortize this and it will sort itself just in the universal balance of things. But the Lions are 0 for, I believe it was 37 last I saw, on 3rd and 10 or more. Chet, if Johnny Moe or this offense can't figure that out, it will get exposed. So basically 3rd and long is what I'm saying. The Lions have not done well on that. That is an area under Ben Johnson and the previous 3 seasons that the Lions thrived in. And it's frustrating because you've got JMO out there, you've got Coleslaw out there, you've got Laporta, all running routes. The only guy that's running intermediate routes really is the sun god. And that's it. They're just not getting it done.
Yeah, I think it has to do a little with that line. They don't have the downfield plays this season. The big hitters, the big deep balls. I just don't think they can protect Goff for long enough with the line that they currently have in place. Let's move along to something. The NFC North. Let's talk about that for a minute. The bye week this week features 3 interesting games for the NFC North. You got the Packers going up against the Steelers. The return of Aaron Rodgers against the Packers. Steelers look pretty good right now. Could be a tough game in Pittsburgh for the Packers. We have the Vikings taking on the Chargers on Thursday night. Thursday night football is gross. I don't like Thursday night football. I don't think the offenses get enough time to prepare. People don't get enough time to rest. You get a weird diluted product out of it. Just my opinion, just one man's thought. But they're going to get Herbert and the Chargers on Thursday night. That's going to be a very tough game for the Vikings. And then the Bears are going to get the Ravens. An interesting matchup. The 1-5 Ravens. I feel like that game could be, now if Jackson was playing, and I don't know if he's going to be, it's very questionable as to whether he'll play this weekend or not. I feel like it could be somewhat of a barometer for the Bears, could give them an idea of what may be coming as to, their level of success and growth this season. But those could be 3 L's for the NFC North. Could be, I don't think the Vikings are beating the Chargers. Could be 2 wins for the NFC North and a loss. Who threatens us the most going forward, Bill? Like, who are you looking at? Is it still the Packers for sure?
I completely disagree with you on 3 L's.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You don't think so?
No, not at all.
Why? Why don't you think that's 3 losses?
Because the Chargers are without both starting tackles, which means you have no starting.
And they are struggling of late. They've had a little bit of a rough go.
Well, because they are lacking both starting tackles.
Okay.
And to answer our Lions question earlier, you can't just get a left tackle.
Yeah.
They don't exist. Nobody's trading you one. And if they trade you one, there's a reason they're trading you him.
Yeah.
And Cam Robinson was traded earlier this season, and I don't want to use inappropriate language, but he is essentially a bowl of Jell-O out there that you just move left or right around, and that's that. So I think Brian Flores is going to feast on the Chargers.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
I just don't think their offense can get anything going, but
yeah,
Vikings with Wentz out there. Word is Wentz is going to play QB again this coming weekend, and McCarthy's just not there yet. Quote unquote.
We will see. Next up, I do like the Steelers at home in the Sunday night matchup. And here's why. Aaron Rodgers maybe gets his revenge.
I feel like he wants a little.
Yeah, and the Steelers looked, to your other point, very weird and lackluster against the Bengals on Thursday night. Thursday night football's terrible.
Yeah.
A, it's on Amazon. Amazon sucks. And B, it's too short of a time. Bears is my X factor. If Lamar plays, that's a loss for the Bears. Lamar doesn't play, it's a win for the Bears. Period.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. Okay, you refuted my 3 L's. I'm still going with 3 L's. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Biggest threat in the division right now? Still the Packers?
Actually, I'm going to go with your Chicago Bears.
Are you? You're going with the Bears. You think they're going to have a resurgence here at the end of the season? Last half of the season, that last game of the year will be like a big crescendo there to their uprising.
Yeah, January 2nd. The Palmer boys and the Patterson boys will be there if you want to bring your girls.
Look at that.
Yeah. We're going to be snowflakes falling or
be freezing cold. Well, I don't disagree. I think the Bears have a chance to slide in there. Packers have a chance to drift back a little bit. We'll see. A lot of this comes down to like injuries and what happens along the way. So you never know at the NFL week to week. Any given Sunday, Bill. Any given Sunday. At any rate, that's all we've got for today, folks. Enjoy your bye week. We'll be back after the bye week to preview our game coming out of the bye there. Bill, who are we playing coming out of the bye week?
Vikings.
Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings. And hopefully Wentz will still be quarterback. I don't know. I kind of like McCarthy back there for us, but we'll see what happens.